The temperatures are up and the lawns are struggling. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about how to keep your lawn cool in the summer heat. So let's get out of the weeds. Thank you for coming back to another video. If you like these videos, please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. As we've entered the beginning of July, this is really starting to get to the time of year where our cool season lawns are going to be struggling the most. If you start to look around at your lawn and the lawns around you, you're going to start to notice the discoloration, and the lawns don't look near as nice and dark green as they did earlier in the spring. This is going to be because we have cool season grass, and our cool season grass is not meant to handle as high of temperatures that we start to get this time of year. Now, for a lot of the country, we've been way hotter than what it's typically on average, where I know here in Indiana, we were having days in the mid to high 90s with heat indexes into the low hundreds. And so it is really just knocking out these cool season lawns, which typically thrive at around 85 and under. If you start to get sustained temperatures above 85 day after day after day, it gets really hard to really keep your lawn looking good. Now, for some people, they don't want to keep watering their grass, so they're just going to let it go brown. This is okay. This is just summer dormancy, which is going to happen essentially every single year. So if you don't want to keep up with some of these practices to really keep your lawn green year round, you can just kind of let it go dormant in the summer and kind of pick back up with everything in the fall. Now, you're not going to really be mowing much during the summer because your grass is just going to go dormant and not really be active. So you're going to be mowing a lot less and not really be doing too much this time of year. Now, for those of us who want to keep our lawns green year round, I have some tips for you. Number one, and most important, is going to be water. Cool season grass needs between 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week throughout the growing season to maintain its nice green color and help prevent it from going dormant. Now, whenever we start getting sustained temperatures above 85 each day, you're going to probably have to up it maybe to even closer to 2 inches per week, and you may even just have to kind of do some spot spraying as needed as well. To ensure you're getting the proper water, what you want to do is each spot you're going to have your sprinklers out, or each zone if you have an irrigation system, go ahead and sit out 4, 5, or 6 containers spread out throughout the zone and have each of the containers marked at a 1/2 inch. You can use a little applesauce container, you can use a range gauge or a tuna can, but go ahead and sit containers out throughout the zone, let your sprinkler run for about 10 minutes, and then after that 10 minutes, measure and see where the water is to that 1/2 inch line. If it's at the 1/2 inch line, then you know 10 minutes is what it takes to get a 1/2 inch of water down. If it's only halfway there, then you know, hey, let's double it, go to 20 minutes. But go ahead and do this for each spot you're going to have to move your sprinkler, or each zone in your irrigation system. Go ahead and do this so you can dial in exactly how long you have to leave the water running to get a 1/2 inch down. Once you have your watering times down, I would go ahead and plan on trying to water around 4 times a week, from probably your typical 3 times a week, which I typically recommend when it's not quite as hot. But when we're really getting our hot temperatures for the year, you're probably going to have to bump it up to maybe that 4th time for the week. On top of that, every single person, you're going to have areas in your lawn that just are a little bit more finicky than others, and that's okay. No matter how great your lawn is, you're going to have sections in your lawn that tend to struggle. The one thing I like about those spots is that those are kind of my indicators. I've always known with my lawns, like, man, when I start seeing this spot start kind of not looking as good, it starts kind of getting this grayish, just off-colored green look, then I know, hey, the rest of my lawn's not far behind, so I need to give extra attention to that spot. And also it kind of keys me into, hey, the rest of the lawn's not far behind from starting to struggle, so I may want to up my water a little bit. Once you get your watering up to where it needs to be, there's a few other things you can do. Number 2, what I would do is change your mowing practices a little bit. Wherever you currently mow your grass height at, I would go ahead and raise it up 1 or 2 notches depending on where you are. I typically recommend staying at either the highest or second to highest anyway. So if you're already at the highest, just leave it. But if you're anything lower, go ahead and just bump it up. Your grass is going to be growing slower during this time anyway, so you're not going to be mowing as much. But what you want to do is get your grass mowed as tall as you possibly can get it for now, because what it's going to help do is help hold in that moisture, and also it's going to help shade the grass because it's taller, and it's helping to just keep out some of that heat and keep your lawn from really drying out and getting crushed by these summer temperatures. Tip number 3, be careful with your fertilizing. Whenever we get to summer, our lawns are under a lot of stress. They're used to those nice, cool 50s, 60s degrees temperatures kind of rolling into the spring, and then they just get smacked with full sun and 95 degrees. And so your lawn is under a lot of stress. So I always talk about a regular fertilizer schedule, and a lot of times bring up holiday schedules. Inevitably, you're going to get to a time where you're going to need to fertilize during the summer. But what I want you to do is during those times, look for fertilizers that have some potassium in them and are also favor more of a slower release. What you don't want to do is just hammer your lawn with something hard that's really going to push your lawn with a ton of nitrogen and cause undue stress. For cool season grass, you want to just kind of manage it through the summer and kind of baby your lawn and try to ease it into the fall where we can attack it again. Now is not the time to play a heavy offense. We want to kind of play defense because the elements around us are not favorable for being aggressive with your lawn. So look for something that's slow release with its nitrogen, and look for something that has potassium, because this is going to help your lawn recover from some of the stress that it's under. Lastly, one thing I'm starting to see people dealing with right now is they're going on vacation, coming back home, they've had sprinklers running, but they come home and they see brown throughout their lawn. Another thing we'll start to get into with this, because of how quickly the temperatures rose for a lot of us and the high humidity, a lot of people are starting to get disease in their lawn. This is a prime time. For lawn disease, the two kind of hot spot areas for us with cool season grass is typically leading from spring into summer, when we really start to crank up the temperatures and crank up the humidity, and then also as we get out of summer into fall, kind of in that August to September area. But it is not uncommon right now, if you look out at your lawn, you feel like you're doing everything right, and you go and it's like, it's brown, I'm seeing brown circles or different brown spots. Go a little bit closer and investigate the leaf blades. What you'll typically look for with some of the lawn disease is you'll see lesions on there that are a key indicator that, oh, this isn't just from dormancy, this is actually a lawn disease. So if you look at your lawn and you recognize, crap, I got disease going on here, there's a couple different things you can do. You can put down a Scott's Disease X, which is a granular product and is usually pretty effective. Another one that I've typically used is either propiconazole or Eagle fungicide, which come in a liquid form, and I mix it in a gallon of water and spray it. One thing with the fungicides as well is typically you would just want to be careful with the heat. Do it in the cool of the day, typically more in the morning, and on a day where you're not going to get crazy temperatures in the 90s and that. You want to try to find a cooler day to be able to apply your fungicide. You don't want to cause extra damage to your lawn through disease. Lastly, when it comes to disease, you want to bag your clippings. If you're somebody who always mulches all the time, if you know you have disease going on your lawn, bag the clippings to help prevent you from spreading it unnecessarily through your mulching. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the sun keeps shining and your lawn stays green. See you next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.